The language and the framing of this CNN article about Trump's meeting on Venezuela are deeply problematic. CNN says the White House is meeting advisors to discuss Venezuela, and specifically the controversial decision in September to strike a boat in the Caribbean twice, killing remaining survivors in the second blow. The opening line sets the frame. Let's focus on the legality of the second strike, not the broader campaign, just the second strike on survivors. At the top, the article says the U.S. has carried out lethal strikes on what it first calls simply drug vessels, then quotes the White House on the claim that dozens of warships and 15,000 troops are deployed to ensure that peace is ongoing throughout the world. Because nothing says peace like missile strikes and a military buildup. Then the article addresses the growing questions about the legality of the strikes that have killed more than 80 people. On second mention, the CNN does call them alleged drug boats. CNN quotes White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt saying the strikes were
conducted in self-defense to protect Americans in vital United States interests
and were carried out
in international waters and in accordance with the law of armed conflict.
Under Article 51 of the UN Charter, force is only allowed in response to an armed attack or an imminent threat. Drug trafficking vessels, even if actually smuggling drugs, don't meet that standard, and the self-defense argument simply doesn't hold. The U.S. has not produced any evidence about who was on these boats or what crimes they supposedly committed. The article ends with more quotes from the White House about defending the homeland and fighting drug trafficking. And here's the core problem. There's no examination of what it means, legally or morally, to kill people on unverified vessels with no search, no arrest, and no trial. Instead, the article presents U.S. actions as a part of a national security operation. What the article really shows is how easily the most powerful military in the world can shape the narrative around its own violence. By adopting the language of power, you end up telling the story the White House wants to tell. By focusing on the legality of the second strike, CNN avoids the larger scandal that the U.S. is killing people at sea with no proof of who they are, what they've done, justified solely by calling them drug traffickers. If we don't question the premise, we normalize it, and that's how the U.S. government keeps pushing the limits of what it can get away with. The job of journalism isn't to repeat the talking points of the U.S. war machine. It's to challenge them and refuse to let any administration hide murderous foreign policy behind euphemisms and PR.